Juanpa says, I want to go first. There you go. Juanpa says, male 23, Costa Rica. Thank God for the protocol. You guys have no idea what that three little code means to me, because it suddenly puts a certain kind of information about you. Background, history, maybe culture, customs, age, the way I can deliver it, your gender, all helpful. So don't forget that. So Juanpa says, Mehran, it's been like 2 months since my ex broke up with me. Thanks to you, I feel awesome. I don't get sad anymore. Nevertheless, thoughts of her come to me very often. They don't have any big negative effects on me, but why are those thoughts still coming? Even though I feel happier than ever. Thanks to you, Mehran. Well, they come because you're alive. Thinking is like heartbeat. You will be thinking, thoughts will generate as long as you're alive. So that is not a question. And they generate based on what's in your consciousness. If you have taken a look at the video I have called Thoughts and Consciousness, or what is thinking? What is thinking is in 4 parts. It's 4-part video, each about 8 or 10 minutes. Very interesting that you must watch it. I recommend it to you. Because as you know, our channel is not just about breakups. I use the venue, the forum of breakup, topics of breakup, in order to introduce to you what you are and how you're put together. To introduce to you your psyche, your consciousness, how thought is born, where is it coming from, what is fear all about, what about ego, desire, what are the steps that it takes for desire to be born, what is the whole relationship between desire and pleasure, what is mechanical process, what is order, why is mind thinking negatively, sometimes or often, what is the mechanism of all that? And of course, to back it up, I mean, if you needed more literature on that, then you could go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, click on the books, look at the table of contents, and read a sample chapter. As you click on it, it will open up for you. Then you will see how many different topics are covered on books, specifically Me, My Psyche, and I, in the form of ebook. Is only what, $5.99? Get that book. Have it on your library for reference. Chapters are not related in a way of that you have to go through a sequence. You can pick up any topic off the table of contents that interests you and you're in the mood for it, and read it with a cup of tea and enjoy it. The other book that I highly recommend is Transient Thoughts on Me. It's a smaller book. Prints are very expensive. They're $80 to $105 depending on which book. But the ebooks that I've invested, turn them all into ebooks, are very, very cheap. $4.99, $5.99. Definitely not doing justice to the effort that's gone into it to make them, to write them, but it's only so everybody can afford to have those books. That's my intention. Naturally, after PayPal takes their cuts and so on, there's not much money for the channel, but it does support the channel in a way. But the plan for that has been just so that everybody with any currency in the world can afford it, and they wouldn't have a problem being able to pick up one. So those books will help you to see what negative thoughts are, what uninvited thoughts are, what transient thoughts are. And this, what you're talking about, is transient thoughts. Thoughts that are based on the information available in your consciousness. And thoughts are born from the field of the known. Field of the known being your consciousness, your memory. The memory is something that we constantly create 24/7. We record. That's how we're put together. All that memory you have from your ex, even though you have no problem with her anymore, you don't miss her anymore, you've gone on your way, you're fine. The memories are there, the filing cabinet is there. And like any other filing cabinet or computer system, when there is a trigger or a word that is associating with a certain file, it pops up. It's like the grammar thingy, like you have a spelling check, that when the word is similar, the spell check comes up and tries to correct it. So when there is some kind of a notion of a trigger or some kind of a association of words or memory or something that you see reminds you of her, or by itself it shows up, is because you're alive. Thinking is part of being alive. So it comes in, notice them, and say, yeah, it was enjoyable, or whatever you think of it. Recognize it, notice it, and let it go. It's like when the wind blows, there's so many particulates, or there's so many debris could lift off the ground with the wind, and it could come towards you. What do? You recognize that there's something other than the air in the wind. You put your hand that way, you brush it aside, or you recognize it but move aside. You recognize it but you don't go after it, you don't focus on it, you don't be in its way. You recognize it and let it pass. Let the wind take it away. Same thing. Thoughts are array of thoughts, like the wild horses. They're not just one. There's so many of them together. So when they come in, you recognize them and then let the flow of thought itself to take it away, because there will be another thought behind it if you don't choose or entertain or focus on this very one that is coming to you. If you just simply don't pay attention to it, focus on something else, that will go and another thought comes and takes its place. Like the horses that are running. The first one is coming, it has to move because there are 100 other horses behind it. Even if it wants to, it can't stop. So just for the mere of the idea that there's a thought coming, there's a horse coming, you shouldn't be scared. It won't stop. Of course, horses don't bother you usually anyhow, but it's a way to deliver it. So the flow of what's behind the horse, what's behind that thoughts, there are 1,000 other thoughts. When you don't focus on it, when you don't recognize it, when you don't select it, it will have to move because there are other thoughts that want to come and show themselves. It's a parade of thoughts. So don't worry about it. The wind has brought it and you don't pay attention to it. You don't put an obstacle in front of it. You don't resist it. The wind will also take that debris away. The other thoughts will also take that thoughts away. As the thought has come, you don't pay attention to it. You focus on what you're doing. It will leave its imprint. You will recognize it. Entertain it if you want. If you don't, just the same way as it came, it will also go away. Now,